Hi everyone, Zach here, and welcome to this short series introducing Unreal Engine 5. Please note that this video was recorded during the early access period, so things may be different, and I will do videos down the road for those updates when the full version is released. In this video, we will explore installing UE5 and getting the bridge for those who want to use Quixel Megascans set up correctly. This series has been brought to you by my Patreon supporters. Consider becoming a Patreon supporter or joining our Discord community. Links in the description below. That said, open up your Epic launcher and let's get started. So before we get into using UE5, let's talk about the technical requirements and if UE5 is right for you at this stage. First, if you are new to Unreal and have never touched UE4, then Epic recommends starting with UE4 as UE5 is still in early access and the engine is still in preview. And as I said during the live stream, it's very previewy in quotes and has not been fully validated for all workflows. Okay, well, should you use UE5? Well, if you want to learn how it will impact your workflow or want to see what's coming out or just want to have some experience with UE5, then yes. And especially if you do have experience with UE4, you should try it out. Should someone new to Unreal wait? Well, honestly, I feel a bit crap saying the first thing I said about being new. I get why Epic has said this in their documentation, links below in the description, but do not allow these comments to scare you away. Maybe you can jump straight into UE5 and learn quickly, or maybe you'll find it easier watching a UE4 tutorial series first. The decision is yours at the end of the day. Also, if you're planning to publish a project before late 2022, stick with UE4. And finally, if you're using UE 4.27, wait until further updates are made to both UE4 and UE5 before migrating that project. Now that we've discussed that, let's get quickly into our technical requirements. They're actually the same as with Unreal Engine 4. All that's required is Windows 7, DirectX from June 2010 and onwards, and Visual Studio 17 version 15.6. However, I believe it will just be Visual Studio 2019 for UE5, though I can't find if Epic has said this anywhere. As for what they recommend, they do recommend using Windows 10, the 64-bit version, having DirectX 11 or 12, and having a processor that runs at 2.5 gigahertz or faster, so Intel quad-core or AMD, and at least 8 gigabytes of RAM. Now, for some of the features in UE5, so Nanite and Lumen, Epic recommends that you use a GTX 1080 or a Vega 65 or better. Okay, sorry for the birds in the background if you can hear that. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's discuss how you get UE5. Now I'm going to talk about two different routes to do this. The first route is in the launcher, go to Library, and in your library, click the plus sign by engine version. Then here, click the little chevron by the engine version and find 5 or UE5 early access. It might be towards the bottom. That said, you'll notice that I don't have the option, and that's just because it's already installed. But if you don't have it installed and you can't see the option, then go to Route 2. If you are able to see it, then go ahead and pause this video and let the install process work. If you can't see it, then let's go to Route 2. So for Route 2, skip this if you're already waiting for the engine to install, but click the UE5 button up here and see if it says that if you need an update. It'll say somewhere either up here or around here that you need an update. And if you do need an update, well, then find the settings button on the bottom left and click it. It will tell you up here if you need to do an update. There is an optional one that I haven't installed right now, but I'm not going to. If you do see that, go ahead and install it. And then go back to Route 1. Just go back to UE4, to Library, and add in the source that way. Once it is installed, so again, pause the video, wait for it to install if you haven't. Let's just make sure it works. So we're going to test that it actually launches properly. So hit launch. It's going to take a couple of moments. And all we're doing is we're ensuring the engine loads correctly and that you don't need to reset anything. So if there are issues, what you will do, and I'll show you in just a moment, is you click this little chevron next to launch, this down arrow, and look for the verify command. And you click that and you let it do its thing. All right, let me just get rid of the VR stuff. As you can see, here is our launcher, and we have our recent projects, games, films, architecture, automotive, production. We're gonna go to games for our test. We're gonna leave it on blueprint. We'll leave it at maximum, and we'll turn ray tracing on, leave server content off. We're not gonna do anything with this. We're just making sure it loads. I'm gonna do first person, and this is just gonna be called test project, so I know to delete it. And go ahead and create. I'm going to pause the video while this loads up. Now, as this is loading, I'm going to say it can take some time. And I am doing this from an M.2 NVMe, and it still takes a good minute or two. We are using the blueprint template without starter content just to see if it loads. Wow, it actually loaded faster than I'm used to. All right, we'll deal with the plugins later. And all I really want to do here now is just make sure that this loads correctly. And I'm going to hit the play button. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is if you've watched my live stream, again, link in the description, I had a bit of an issue and it kept crashing. Read the crash message carefully. It will tell you what the problem was. So, for example, in the live stream, for some reason, motion blur was causing it to crash and I had to turn off motion blur. So if it loads, yay. If not, read the error message carefully and then find the feature that it's glitching and try to disable it. All right, so I'm just gonna hit play real quick, and it looks like we're working. Oh dear God, that is loud. Let's get you guys to hear what I just heard. There you go. All right, so that's working. Now, the next thing I wanna do is I wanna check if the bridge has automatically installed. I don't think it has, it didn't earlier today. So we go down here, nope, I'm not seeing anything for the bridge. So let's go ahead and close this out, and then we're gonna go back to our editor. All right, so now that we're back in our editor, go to your library, and I'm just gonna type in the word bridge down here, and I have my Quixel Bridge. I'm going to install to an engine, and there we are, UE5, EA, it's the only one I should be able to install to. Go ahead and just install that to the engine. It'll take a moment. I'm gonna pause while it does that. All right, now it's installed. One thing I'm gonna do is click installed plugins, and you'll see Quixel Bridge is there. So open up the test project. And let's take a look at the bridge. Just make sure everything is set up properly. Alrighty, so here we are back in the editor, and there is our Quixel Bridge link. Now, there have been reported that there are some bugs with this, so be mindful that, this might not work properly. In fact, let's find out together. And there we go. All right, I do have something of a working bridge. Not sure why that just popped up, but whatever. So it is working. All right, we've done everything we want to do in this video in terms of installation and getting everything set up. All right, with that done, we'll move on into the next video to look at our user interface. All of that said, this series has been brought to you by Patreon sponsors like Connor, Rian, and Hanas. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button down below. It really does help this channel out. And if you want to be here when we do any other tutorial series or further explore UE5, make sure to hit the subscribe and notify icon so you know when those videos are out. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.